Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do, and if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better do it, and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast. I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So, pretty please, with sugar on top. Listen to Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another spectacular episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, get ready, my friends. We have actor, director, producer, author, and a man who's been on screens and in our lives for over 35 years. From being a demigod to a mere mortal to nearly dying and being saved, throughout his life and career, he has demonstrated true strength. He's a family man, a man of faith, and we're honored to have him here today, most specifically because he pushed off his tea time to be here on Thrive Loud. Thrive Loud listeners, I bring you Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, how are you today, my friend?
That's a big sacrifice for me to give up my morning golf, but it's okay. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well, you're looking great. I'm excited to have you here. What I wanted to do is, look, for those who are familiar with you, as I am, I kind of grew up with you on TV screens, and obviously you've had a long career. I kind of want to know what's going on now in the world of Kevin Sorbo. So here's what I want to do. Let's focus on your latest project, things you're working on, and we'll go from there. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah. I have a movie that just finished its theatrical run. We had about a 5-week run, a little independent movie based on the Left Behind books. Left Behind were, they sold like 80 to 90 million copies of that back in the 90s. And they did the first couple movies back in 2000, 2001 with Kirk Cameron. And the most recent one before this one was back in 2014 with Nicolas Cage. I took over that role. This is called Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist. So people are familiar with that book. It deals with the rapture. It deals with the second coming where all the Christians are taken up to heaven and all the Antifa members are still left on earth. So I directed as well. Had a great time doing that one. And that comes out streaming on DVD at the end of March. And then I've got the Reagan movie coming out that I shot with Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid plays the president. I plays pastor. And then I got another movie I directed called Miracle in East Texas. That's going to come out in October, theatrical as well. True story set in 1930 about the largest oil find in the history of the world. And then I got 5 other movies I shot last year. And those are all in post-production coming out later this year, early next year. And I'm about to leave for North Carolina to film there for 3 weeks. Then I go to LA to film. I'm not looking forward to go back to LA, but I'm looking forward to the movie. I'll be there for about 3 weeks filming that. And then I've got a movie in Dubai coming up and a movie in Thailand. So I'm not done yet, man. I'm staying very busy. I've shot over 80 movies. I've shot over 80 movies since my Hercules and Andromeda days.
Yeah. So by the way, congrats on being as busy as you are, which is awesome. And for those who at the time we were recording this, Los Angeles either has snow on it, has mudslides, and Kevin and his family got out of there several years ago, and he's quite happy, it seems. Obviously, because he's playing golf every minute of the day.
But only when I'm not working. But I golf fast. I got to tell people that know the game of golf, I do 18 holes about an hour and a half.
What?
I fly.
So you like one of those like jog golfers? What are you doing?
Well, you know what? My dad was a school teacher. In summers, he worked at a golf course. So all 5 of us kids, I'm the 4th of 5 kids, we all grew up playing golf. And my 3 other brothers and I have one sister, my 3 brothers and I would take 4 golf clubs and a putter, and we would just run the course barefoot and just go crazy. So we created speed golf before it became an actual sport, which is amazing. But I should have trademarked it. But I golf fast. I'm a good golfer. I shoot mostly in the 70s. For those who know golf, that's a pretty good score.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I just love the game, but I don't love it for 4 to 5 hours a day. I got too much going on. So I get home usually by 10 o'clock every morning, and I'm here at work trying to raise money for my next movie. That's kind of what I do.
Kev, by the way, not surprising that a guy that's originally from Minnesota, they invented speed golf because you basically, like, by the time you tee off, the golf season could end because, the snow is just so
It's very true. It's very true. It's a very short window. You're from New York. You actually have warmer weather in New York than we had in Minnesota. I mean, right now there's more snow and it gets, the 20 below stuff. I don't miss it. I love being here in Florida. We left, as I mentioned earlier before we started talking, I left California 4.5 years ago. Been looking to move out here for years because my wife and I both have family out here. And we left the worst governor in the country for the best governor. So we've been very proud and happy of our move.
Oh, so I want to hit this. I want to talk about acting, directing, obviously producing. There's the business behind the movie. You wear a lot of hats and a lot of visors, as you can see. By the way, still has great hair. You gotta love it, Kevin. Kevin, which of those hats do you like wearing most?
I've been asked that question before, and I say, if you're going to say you have to choose, I would still take acting. I love it. I get excited to be on set. I love being on set, but I started directing back in the Hercules years. So I've been a member of the DGA now for 28 years. I've been a SAG member for 40 years, which is kind of crazy. So I'm getting old, but I still love the acting bit. But I'm smart enough to know, growing up on sets on TV and movies, to put great people around me. Unlike Jimmy Carter did back in his presidency, he put horrible people around him. But for me, I want to put good people around me that know their jobs better than I do. I know what I want visually, but I let those people from hair and makeup to wardrobe to the camera guys do their stuff. And I think that's the best way to do it. And I think if you look at the success of a Mel Gibson, the way he directs, Clint Eastwood, all coming from the acting world, they do great stuff. And those guys are like heroes of mine. So I'm bugging Mel right now to make sure he puts me in the Resurrection sequel to The Passion. Jim Caviezel and I had the same manager for about 15 years. So I've known Jim for a long time. So I'm bugging him a little bit too right now.
When I gave the opening in the bio, obviously I did like a little interpretation of your memoir. Obviously, all the things, from being Hercules to I did not know the whole story. Maybe you could share just a little bit, just to bring our listeners up to speed on this. Nearly dying and being saved. Tell me what happened in your life at that point and what was the situation?
Well, it was the end of season 5 on Hercules, and I was having all kinds of problems with my left arm, shoulder, all the way down to my fingers were numb and cold. I couldn't figure what was going on. I did most of my own stunts on the series. We had 3 fights every episode, and I did most of my own stunts because my ego said that I could, and I actually enjoyed it. Because growing up a football and basketball guy, I loved it. It was very athletic for me, and it was just so much fun. And I had great stunt guys that made me look good. I got to be honest. My stunt guys were incredible. But I was getting cuts and bumps and sprains and bruises, but this one was weird, and ended up being an aneurysm that had been up here forming through who knows for what reasons, spitting blood clots. But unfortunately, when it opened up, it sent a series of clots into my brain. I suffered 3 strokes. I actually suffered 4 strokes, but my speech came back quickly. But I spent the next 3 years just in recovery. It took me 4 months to learn how to walk and balance again. I'll tell you, for a guy that was in his 30s in better shape than most people in their teens and 20s, it was tough on my ego as much as anything else. And it was a long road to get back, and I made it. I wrote a book. It's called True Strength: My Journey from Hercules, a Mere Mortal, and How Nearly Dying Saved My Life. And people can pick up a copy. Go to sorbostudios.com. Actually, sorbostudios.com is a great place to go just to find all kinds of information on stuff I got coming down. My wife's got coming down. She's a homeschool advocate. She's got a number of books out there, and we stay very busy. In fact, last weekend I was in Tulsa speaking at an event there, and my wife was down in Dallas speaking at an event there. So we both stay very busy, and I get to see her every once in a while, which is still good. We've been married 25 years. So.
Yeah, and I know a little bit about this, but maybe I should. So you met your wife on set because she was in the cast, right? So what season was that when you were doing Hercules way back when?
It was at the end of season 4. I was just about. It was the 21st episode. We shot 22 episodes each year over 7 years, and it was the second to last episode. I was getting ready to do a movie in Bratislava, Slovakia, in Croatia called Kull the Conqueror. And Kull was the father of Conan in the books and also in the comic books. So this is my first big budget movie. It was like a $30 million movie with Universal Studios. So I met her, and I'll be honest, every episode they had a pretty girl to be my co-star, so it was a great dating for me. But with her, it was a little bit different. And I knew the day I met her, the very first day, I was hitting on her big time. I'm a big flirt, I'll admit to that. I'm a flaming heterosexual, what can I say? And We got along fantastically and started dating right away, and we got engaged rather quickly. And the strokes hit. Unfortunately, she stuck by my side. She got the worst part before the pastor said for better or worse. And here we are, 25 years later, with three amazing children. And yeah, it was an interesting first date for us, and it was a lot of fun.
I love asking guests this question. I want to see where this goes.
Sure.
As you just said, you're still thriving in your industry. You're still working. You're still producing. You're still acting, and you love it all. You've got a great family. You've got a really well-rounded life, and hopefully, and he's shooting in the 70s, folks. Means he's got a good golf game. So on most days, Kevin, you're thriving. But we all have those days when we're a little off our game and we're not quite kicking on all cylinders. What does Kevin Sorbo do when he's not thriving to get himself back on the thriving track?
I'm still a big advocate of exercise, working out. I still, I'm a 60-year-old dude now, but I still work out every day. I think it's important for people. Look, when I got a headache, I would just go for a 3-mile jog. The headache would be gone. And the world right now, it's interesting. If you look at photos of America back in the 40s, 50s, 60s and stuff, you don't see the obesity that you see today. I mean, it's a problem in our country. And it's, the fast food world and just people not taking care of themselves. And I am an advocate for walking, running, playing pickleball, basketball, gym, stretching, whatever it may be. And I tell people all the time, I said, you'd be surprised if you got into that habit of going to the gym or just working out at home. You can do plenty of stuff at home. How much you're going to feel better. Sugar is the enemy. Look, I got a sweet tooth too, but sugar is the enemy. And I tell people all the time, I said, look, try 1 week of just trying not to eat any sugar. There's sugar in everything, but do your best and not to do it. You would be amazed after 7-8 days of that, how much more energy you have and how much better you feel. So, and for me, it's I'm a workaholic on top of that. But I tell people all the time, I said, get out and do something with your body. Just don't let we're letting this country go to just get out of shape, and it's crazy. And I keep fighting to tell people, look, it's up to you. Look in the mirror. Quit blaming God, the government, the world for your problems. Look in the mirror. Cue Michael Jackson's song, "The Man in the Mirror," and take care of yourself.
I like it. For the record, several years ago, I took, as I have my cup of coffee here, I took the sweetener out, just went straight black with it, and it's amazing what you can do by reducing the sugar. You're 100% right, by the way. I think I still have a little. It's somewhere here and there.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
but
definitely
one night
minimize.
a week. One night a week, have a dessert. But don't do it 7 days every week. One night, treat yourself. Have a cheat day. Have a pizza. Have whatever. But it's really quite easy to eat healthy. My wife eats far healthier than I do. But I'm a pretty healthy guy. I'm not a good vegetable guy, but I do I do juice vegetables. Like I put all the stuff and juice it all. Maybe throw in one apple to help with the taste a little bit. But I do like a good salad. But I'm a meat lover. I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a meat guy. And cut down the carbs a little bit. People just go overboard with all the bread and everything. So. I love all those things too that we have their weakness on, but I think the biggest thing people can change in their diet is stop eating after 7 o'clock at night. Just stop. Just drink water. You'd be surprised how that can change for you.
Yeah.
Having caramel corn, watching a late night movie, it's just probably not the best idea to put 3,000 more calories in your body just before you try to go to sleep.
By the way, very true. Although I will tell you, we do like our caramel corn. Okay.
I know, I do too. I make fresh caramel corn. It's a thing with my daughter and I, but we've cut down that quite a bit. That's a once a month thing now.
So here's what I want to do. You've already given us the plug section. We will put all the links for all your websites and everything for there and all the stuff coming up, which we're excited about. I want to go through Fun Street here on Thrive Loud because listeners need to know. I send out the request to every guest that we have, and everyone knows to get things started, I'll ask what their favorite movie is. And it's fun to always ask people who are in the movie business what this is. This is the most comprehensive list ever. I'm going to read it because you won't remember every one of the ones you gave. And I want to talk about this. When I asked Kevin what his all-time favorite movies were, Casablanca, Philadelphia Story, Jeremiah Johnson, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and Streetcar Named Desire. Okay, of those movies, I would love to know which is the one that still sticks out. That's always the one that's like your go-to. If it happens to be on that one, you're drawn in. Or is it all 5 of them?
I got to say Streetcar because Marlon Brando's performance is so unfreaking believable. I tell people, see, the reason I think I love old movies is because I grew up with that with my mom. I think that was one of the reasons I want to be an actor. during the 70s and stuff. I would watch all these old Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy, Cary Grant. My daughter watches these old movies with me. I love that. She's hooked on them as well. She's got a big crush on Cary Grant. I mean, the guy was charismatic, good-looking dude, great actor. I just love those movies. Casablanca is considered one of the greatest scripts ever written. I mean, just such a fantastic movie, and I just love all these old movies. I think a reason I met Jeremiah Johnson and Butch Cassidy, I mean, Paul Newman and Robert Redford were my guys. Those are the guys that made me want to be an actor more than anything. I mean, I was big fans. I got a letter over here that's framed on my wall from Paul Newman, wow, which is just incredible. Anthony Quinn played Zeus on Hercules for the first year. I got to work a whole year with Anthony Quinn. Here's a guy who's been nominated for 6 Academy Awards, won twice. I mean, movies like Lawrence of Arabia, Guns of Navarone, Zorba the Greek. I mean, that is old Hollywood. And I think a lot of these new Hollywood guys have no idea about the history of it. You know, it's just like athletes today. I appreciate a guy like Rory McIlroy in golf because he loves the history of golf, just as Tiger Woods did. Yeah. And I think you need to understand where the roots of the system and the whole business came from, because it is called show business, right? It's not called show. And I look at those people that came way before me, and I appreciate what they did to build the industry, to build the business. Unfortunately, from my end, because we live in this crazy cancel culture woke world, yeah, I got banned from Hollywood about 11, 12 years ago. My manager and agent said, we can't work you anymore because you're a Christian and a conservative. And I don't necessarily wear those on my sleeve, but I don't back down from them either. But I thought, wow, you're in an industry that screams for tolerance all the time. You know, Hollywood, oh, be tolerant of us, freedom of speech. But it's a one-way street with these guys. And it's sad for me. I mean, Hollywood doesn't owe me anything. But I find it sad that I got basically blacklisted from an industry that I love only because I'm not a leftist-toting cancel culture baby like these people out there. And thank God, though, I've kept the business alive through Sorbo Studios. And I get scripts all the time. I get offers all the time. So to me, I'm going to keep, if I like the role and I like the script, I'm going to keep working because I enjoy what I do.
Love it. We're going to do the speed round here because I'm dying to know. I've got an extra bonus question here. Here's how it works,
right,
Kevin. I'm just going to ask you something. First thing that comes to your mind. Most of these things make you thrive. All righty? Of late, a song that you've been listening to or maybe a jam that pumps you up.
Wow. See, I'm a child of the 70s. I'm still an Eagles guy. Anything the Eagles, I love. Take It to the Limit. I love that song. I love the harmony in it. I love the message in it. I love it. There's a lot of good new stuff out there. I'm a country fan too. I love a lot of the new country that's out because the country today is really like more 70s stuff, like the Eagles, like Fleetwood Mac. I mean, it's not the twangy stuff that my dad grew up with and my dad loved so much, but so, it's hard to pinpoint one thing because I bike in my neighborhood. I got a neighborhood here I can go around. And if you go between like 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I maybe see one car because we live in this horse country out here and there's nobody around. I just love it. And that's sort of my Zen time to be by myself. When I'm on the golf course, if I'm golfing, there's one buddy I golf with a lot, but if he's not around, I'll listen to podcasts. I'll listen to different podcasts just to sort of have something different. But, I can't say just one song. I know that's a long-winded answer, but I like all kinds of music. I'm not a rap guy, but I like pretty much all kinds of music from classical to heavy metal.
I like it. By the way, I'm just trying to imagine how quickly we'd have to make this podcast for Kevin to run through the golf course in an hour and a half. We'll make sure that you can listen to it over and over and over again. So, okay. A favorite food that is not a dessert?
Pretty much anything Italian. I love it. I lived in Italy for 8 months after college. I went to Europe, followed a girlfriend over there, was a big time model. I ended up living in Europe for 3.5 years. And it was a great sidetrack for me. It made me grow up to be a guy in my early 20s and go over and live in Paris, live in Munich, live in Milan. And when I got to Italy and had real Italian food, I said, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. And it was just, the thin crust pizzas. And that's all I have now. When I got over there, I go, well, this is not a pizza. Then I ate it and went, this is a pizza. This is pretty damn good. So I think anything Italian, I'm a fan of.
All right. So we know we've minimized the sweets, but if you were to have a dessert, what is your favorite dessert?
Oh, man, my favorite dessert. I got to say anything with chocolate, peanut butter, and caramel mixed in with it. Put those three together in something, cheesecake. The cheesecake has a cheesecake, like the Cheesecake Factory has a cheesecake like that, which is just stupid. I think it's 14,000 calories a bite, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and they probably in certain states have to put the calorie count on it, which is oh so enjoyable when you do that.
Yes.
Okay, these 4 questions I'm very curious about, and this starts off with an activity you wish you did more of.
Guitar. I've had a guitar for over 30 years, and I'll play it religiously for 2 months and don't pick it up for 6 months. Right. And if I look at it and go, if I just played 15 minutes a day, I'd be really good at it. I'm not bad on it, but I'm not great on it. But I mean, that and piano. I was only one of the 5 kids who wouldn't take piano lessons. At 7 years old, my mom says I was a very stubborn child, and I believe that. And I wouldn't take piano lessons. I regret it. And I listen to my 19-year-old son now play. He's been playing for 10, 11 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I said that alone makes you a good chick magnet. Trust me. But
I'm sure he's got good genes too. I'm doing some math and some headshots here.
Well,
I'm sure
I'm 6'3", and my 2 boys are 6'4" and 6'5" now. Okay. So they got me beat there.
Hold on. An activity you wish you did less of?
An activity I wish I did less of. Less sitting in front of my computer doing work, trying to raise money all the time. I'm such a business guy, but I think I'd love to do less of it and be more involved in just, I'm involved with my family, but still I was more involved in my family, more involved in just relaxing instead of just constantly going, go, go, go.
An activity Kevin Sorbo recently tried that he loved, that he wants to tell everybody else to try and do the same.
Well, I'm going to say an activity I used to do a lot pre-Hercules years that I just recently started again about 2 months ago is rollerblading. Really? I used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I have not done rollerblading in 30 years. And we went and recently got some rollerblades, and it is so much. I forgot how much fun I enjoyed doing it when I lived in LA. I lived in Santa Monica, so I had rollerblade all the way down to Hermosa Beach and Manhattan Beach and back up again. And I just forgot how much fun that was. So I'm going to say, since it's been 30 years, it's like a lifetime ago. So I'm into it again. And I think people would absolutely love it.
If I could snap my fingers, Kevin, and you could be anywhere in the world, where are you?
I'm 35 years old and I'm shooting Hercules again.
So speaking of which, before we leave here, listeners, and I've got one more question for him. We have to look behind Kevin here. Just Kevin, talk to me about what's on the wall, because specifically directly behind your head.
Well, I feel I arrived when I got my own little Funko thing here, Hercules Funko thing. But that is the Hercules sword, and it was given to me after 7 years on the series. The cast and crew, the production company there, put it together with our wonderful props department. It's got Hercules 1993 to 2000. It says the journey may be over, but the legend lives on, inscribed on it. And it was such an amazing chapter in my life. And I worked with so many incredible people. And my whole crew went on to work on Lord of the Rings, and they won all kinds of Academy Awards and stuff. And Peter Jackson told me, he says, it was your show that really started the industry down here in New Zealand, because, we had 2 spin-off series. In our 3rd year, we spun off Xena. Our 5th year, we spun off Young Hercules, played by an unknown actor at the time by the name of Ryan Gosling. A lot of people forget that. Yeah. And I looked at Peter and I said, it's a wonderful compliment, but you didn't give me one role in any of the 3 Lord of the Rings. Come on.
You could have been a bad guy. Like, you could have been like somebody.
I would have played anybody. I mean, Come on. I mean, there's more than one character in those movies. I think it's the American thing. We love what you did, but you're an American. We don't want you here.
Last question, because I'm going to bring this back to golf so you can get back out there.
Sure.
What feels better to you? A great drive, a great approach shot, or making a really great putt?
Making a really good putt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because if you're a good putter, you can save a lot of other bad parts of your game. Making a great putt is awesome.
Kevin Sorbo, truly an honor to have you here. True Strength. We will put all the links on everything he's got going on. Continued success to you. Thank you for bringing us all the great gifts and stuff that you've been giving to this world. We're really appreciative of you, and it's great to have you here today.
My pleasure. SorboStudios.com, and follow me on Twitter at KSorbs. You guys will like my tweets. Facebook took me down for speaking the truth, so the hell with Zuckerberg. He's a wuss. But go to KSorbs.
Like it. To all the listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.